Mati Zines, who comes in from United. Brian Tolnar will be on in a bit. We're going to start out this interview with her, and a great golfer for United that is having a tremendous 2022. Maddie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
What did you do in the offseason, Maddie, to become such a great golfer this season? I know you had a lot of great accomplishments last year, qualifying for the greatest golfer of the Valley in the championship rounds. But what did you do to kind of prepare yourself for this season? Because you put up some spectacular numbers so far and have broken all the records you put up in 2021.
Thank you. I worked on short game all over winter, and in the spring, I've just been working on my irons because as much as I'd like to grip it and rip it with my driver, that's not how you get your score down to the 30s and, well, shoot under 80.
When you were young and you were watching golf, and was there temptations to grip it and rip it? I mean, were you impatient enough to say, like, I want to hit this ball so hard? I feel like young golfers, you watch golf on TV, and obviously the professionals can drive it out the wazoo. Was it ever hard for you to learn that maybe you didn't have to drive it ridiculously far to get a good score?
Yes. I think as I matured, I realized that you drive for show and you putt for dough.
I love that. We're gonna have to use that.
When you talk about shooting under 80, you did that this season. You have the 18-hole school record shooting 79. What were some of the things that were working for you on that day? Of course, you talk about your chipping and putting, but when you shoot 79, everything's kind of clicking for you on that day, right?
Not actually.
Okay.
I started off with 2 double bogeys, so I did not start off great. And something that happened was my mom, who is our coach, she told Ben, who works at Salem Hills, that I wasn't starting off great. And he said, you know what, I think she's going to shoot a 79. And on the back, I shot lights out, and I got a 79. So that was something memorable about that day.
What was like the mindset? How did you bounce back from that tough start and kind of reset yourself and get yourself mentally prepared to go out and do as well as you did throughout the rest of the day?
I think number 3 is a par 3, and my driver was not going well that day. So I had a good shot and I got par on that hole, and I think that's what helped me calm down and stay focused.
Now, when you look in your golf bag, what are some of your favorite clubs to use? I mean, when you pick up a certain club and you're going to hit it well, I mean, what's that club for you?
Well, my driver for sure, but my 56 is my baby. One time I accidentally left my 56 on a course, and I had a match the next day, and I was looking for it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I left it there. I need to go get it now. And I told my mom, I need to leave now. And she's like, no, you got to play this match. I was like, I need it.
Do you name your clubs? Does 56 have a name? Are you someone that likes to have that kind of relationship with your equipment?
Well, I don't have a name for it, but it is a Mac Daddy. So
we're going to bring Brian Tolnar into this interview too, our golf guru from Mill Creek Golf Course. Brian, thank you so much for joining us today. And as we talk to Mati Zines, we already went over kind of her preparation and some of the records that she's broken this year. I know you've had a chance to see her with the greatest golfer. What kind of things stick out to you yourself when you watch Mati play?
I think something that you alluded to early, short game. I mean, it's the short game from 50 yards and in and 100 yards and in is so important. And everybody really wants to focus on, the driving aspects of the game. And if you think about it, in a 9-hole high school match, you're only hitting that driver about 7 times. In 18 holes, probably 13 or 14 times because of the par 3s and the way the golf courses it's set up. So we always talk about as PGA professionals, if you want to improve your score and drop a lot of shots very quickly, it's within the short game. So it's nice to see that she really put some time and effort in during the off season for that short game. So it's vitally important in having success, especially at the high school level and having aspirations for that collegiate level as well.
Maddie, when you look at some of these other accolades you've had this year, you also have the school record for the nine hole score with a 37. You placed first in the Mahoning Valley Girls Invitational at Salem Hills. You shot a 72 at the Alliance Invitational. First place in the Squaw Creek Greatest Golfer of the Valley Qualifier. When you look at all the things that you've been able to do this year, what are some of your proudest achievements that you've been able to call yourself that you've been able to have this season?
Being a finalist in the Greatest Golfer, I really want to thank Todd Franco for that, because the Greatest Golfer really introduces you into like this new perspective and has helped me become better as a golfer. I'd also like to talk about being a finalist and ending up in second place this year at the Greatest Golfer. My parents' friend Dave Dees was actually my caddy for that day, and he really helped me with course management. And somewhere where you really need course management is districts at Sable Creek. It's really easy to get into a lot of trouble, which I did last year. And if I get out of sectionals and get into districts, I know if I get under 80, I could probably make it to state.
When you play in a greatest golfer competition like that against some of the greatest golfers around this area, how much do you think that prepares you for when you get to the playoffs in the district, so that, yeah, I'm locked in, I got to play well, and I got to shoot well every single shot?
Definitely. It introduced me into 18-hole matches, because when I was a freshman, my first year ever playing in the sectionals, I was blown away by 18 holes. I was so tired. And playing in Greatest Golfer helped me get used to it and be able to pace myself for 18 holes so I'm ready for sectionals.
Brian, I know you've been dying to be a part of these interviews. What are some burning questions that you have for these area golfers?
Well, I think there's a couple that, resonates with me. I'm always, anxious to see how everybody practices and prepares. What are some of the things that you do on a daily basis to make yourself, game time ready when it comes to a 9-hole match or an 18-hole invitational?
I work with my favorite club, my 56, and I work with my 7-iron, and I work with my driver. Those 3 clubs are the ones that I practice with the most, because my driver leaves me at least close enough for when I was from the women's. It leaves me with, I only have to hit with my 56. So I work with that club, I work with my driver, and my 7-iron for maybe long distances.
Awesome. What's your aspirations beyond high school golf? I mean, what are you looking for? Are you looking to play collegiately, or are you looking to play another sport, or is this the one you want to focus on?
I want to focus on this sport. I look to play in college golf, because it will definitely help me with what I want to major in, finance, and it will help with business.
Let's talk about off the course a little bit, get to know you from a personal perspective. What are some of your favorite things to do outside of golf, and what are some of the hobbies that you have in your life?
I play softball. I used to play basketball, but I'm quitting this year because I'm focusing more on golf. I play in the band. My favorite subject is English. I like to write. I like to draw, and overall, I have a lot of hobbies.
You're a member of that great United band. What's it like in the Friday night atmosphere? What's it feel like to be a part of the band and be able to put on the show in halftime?
It's really fun. I really like playing in the band. I love music. It's incredible to be under the lights. A bit different than golf.
What instrument do you play?
The mellophone or the French horn.
And what's the favorite song that you guys are able to perform on a Friday night?
Well, in our show, we play My House, and we are starting to learn Poker Face, which is a favorite song of mine.
What about before your golf meets? What are some playlists that you have to kind of put yourself in that right mindset that Brian was talking about earlier?
Oh, I don't listen to music before my matches. I think it distracts me, a lot of noise in my head. It kind of distracts me from my game and scoring good.
All right. What about your personal playlist outside of golf? What kind of things do you like to listen to and put in your ears?
A bit of everything.
A bit of everything. I like people like that. You said your favorite subject was English. Who are some teachers that you've had throughout your career that have impacted where you are right now?
My mom. She is a tutor mostly in English, and she really helped me improve my writing as I moved forward in high school. So she definitely helped me with my grades and everything.
As a golfer, we have to ask you this: what is your favorite course to play on that you've been able to shoot with?
Well, because of Greatest Golfer, I'm able to play on Avalon and Squaw Creek, which are favorites of mine, but I don't get to play them very often. But my favorite, like locally, probably Firestone. I work there, and Salem Hills. I've had a few lessons there.
What about one golf course that you haven't played yet that you would love to have the opportunity to play on?
The state golf course. I can't remember the name of it, but I'd love to make it to state.
I think Brian can help us out with that.
It depends. They kind of bounce around between Scarlet and Gray and North Star. So I'm, hopefully it'll be on one of those three, but it's generally in those avenues there.
We can get. I think we can get Maddie down there for a state qualifier. I think that can happen.
Thank you.
Maddie,
Shooting all year, she'll be in great shape.
Before we let you go, I want to give you a chance to thank your support system and the people that are always there for you throughout your career.
I'd like to thank Coach Joe Allen from Avalon. He's the one who helped me with my short game over the winter. He gave me lessons over the winter, which really helped me improve and realize that I should not just grip it and rip it, that there is infinite shots from 100 in. Around 66% of your game is short game. I'd like to thank my parents. My mom became the girls' coach for golf, and the girls' golf team is very new, but I think they have a lot of athletic talent, so I need to help them by shooting low.
Maddie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and giving us a little bit of insight into your really good season that you're having. We wish you the best of luck for the rest of the year, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you so much.